It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by Agile Dad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started.
From time to time, I tend to get a little tongue in cheek, and this might be one of those days. Someone sent me an article, and I'm not going to say the author's name because I don't want to dig on this person. But this person basically, okay, so I'll give you some hints. They have titles of PKT, PST, and LSFT, which I know what a PST is. So that person should be someone pretty reputable in the community, a professional Scrum trainer. And they wrote an article, and the article, I'm going to give it my own title just to be safe. It's When Will Scrum Die? And in this article, this gentleman goes on to say, some people will say that it's already dying. There's so much inauthentic, unprofessional Scrum being done in the world, where Scrum is part of what I call water Scrum fall, where we put within a predictive deterministic system, we're predicting when work will be finished, when actually we've got so much work that where we don't know what we don't know, and that's really inauthentic. I see in those situations where the concept of done isn't even a concept there. They think that done means we met acceptance criteria when actually it's almost like a checklist for how we do things around here. The technical standards and the product quality standards, international standards, for example, that we might need to comply with. Okay, let's stop there. This one's a hard read for me, so I apologize to the person who sent it in, but I'm going to do the best I can to break it down and to give you my feedback. So, is Scrum dying? Definitively no. Scrum's been around forever. It's not going anywhere. It's not dying. I think that people are trying to kill it, and I think that people are doing very poor things that are causing people to not behave in a way they should. But I don't know I'm on the team of Scrum dying. In this article, this person says I would argue that Scrum is dying, but I've also been very encouraged by the level of authentic agility that's growing as well. I'm seeing some very advanced practitioners coming into his professional Scrum Master class, and he's really inspired by the people who come. And sometimes they feel a bit down because they're within a system where they're expected to do things that they should not be doing. This is a common thing. I talked about this when we are talking about just job titles the other day and the search for other opportunities. And what we quickly discovered is that even in job descriptions, people don't know. There's no clear understanding of delineation and roles and responsibilities. People just don't know what they should be doing, and this is a common thing. So he goes on to say the Scrum Master is expected to create dashboards. They're expected to coordinate between teams or manage what's going on. They need to be the delivery manager and come and practice now where you've got the delivery manager and figure out where Scrum Masters are actually on the hook for delivery, not just the effectiveness of the team. When they go through certain classes, what they notice is that they're not supposed to be doing these things. I would agree. In my certified Scrum Master classes and level 2 certified Scrum Master classes and in the level 3 curriculum we've created, we find people all the time going, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think part of the issue, and I hope I don't spoil it, uh, he says it later, so I'm not going to say it because I just saw the number. It says, what we're supposed to be doing is observing, and with permission, coaching, teaching, advising, acting as a change agent, working with the organization at all levels, helping management and executive leaders cultivate the environment in which agility can really grow. And I send them away from my class saying, I want you to be ambassadors for what the Scrum Master should really do, so that when people are looking for Scrum Masters, when they're hiring them, when they're wondering what a Scrum Master should be doing, you'll be telling them what a Scrum Master should be doing. And if the Scrum Master is on message, it improves the chances that the product owner is a proper product owner and not just a team product owner, which is a typical failure mode that I've seen because there's only one owner for the Okay, that's confusing. I think what he's trying to say is if you understand what a Scrum Master does, the hopes is that you understand what a product owner does and that there should only be a single product owner, not a product owner for each team that's working on a project. And I get it. It's a matter of having a product owner focus on their roles and responsibilities, organizing work so it's easily consumable, and having a Scrum Master focus on the overarching framework and process and talking about how we can improve together as a team. You might have a product manager within each team, but you would have product owners with you wouldn't have a product owner within each team. We've been moving away from business analysts. Okay, I am so confused. This paragraph is just blowing my mind. Okay. So I think the emphasis here is about what is the role of a business analyst. So we're back there again. So if you've been to one of my sessions, you know I always talk about BAFATA, right? So the business analyst keeps their thumb on the pulse of the consumer, understands what's going on. They understand the importance of meeting the consumer's needs. They hold focus groups. They meet with customers regularly. They interview trainers about things the customer's clamoring for and with support about things the customer's struggling with. And we get that information so that way we can get input so we can make clear changes. Um, he goes on to talk about UX, user experience. That's also part of our Bafata to understand exactly what is happening so that we can bring that information back to the product owner so they can make clear and credible decisions. These are not Scrum Master responsibilities. These are additional responsibilities that fall on other folks. So what he's saying is that the aspects of Scrum that he's hoping to see a Scrum Master work on are never really being worked on because the Scrum Master is constantly being tasked to do all these other things. I hope that this is a good synopsis. There is just a lot of convoluted information here. I should have read this first. What I can tell you is, I'll close with this paragraph. He says, I love Scrum. I think it's brilliant. I just think we need to give more people, more options. So people do what's right for them as opposed to imposing something that might not be the right strategy for the team. Okay, I'll stop there. When you say you think we should give more people more options, the first thing that comes to my mind is choose your wow, choose your way of working, discipline agile. And while discipline agile is great because it's got so many different things, and you can pivot and adjust and do the things you need to do, there's no reason why you can't do this in just a standard agile implementation. You don't need to have something special and give it a name and call it out in order to be able to do these things. I think that one of the misnomers and one of the things that I see it's a misstep is that people feel like they must be doing something very specific in order to be an agent of change. And that's not true. And I think that people like this gentleman are searching for a guidebook, a rule book, a set of clear laws, and the ability to be flexible, but within the confines of, and it drives me crazy because I think that while it's important for us to really get our head around and focus on the things that we need to be doing, I also think that you can do process overkill, process overload, and cause people to become very jaded and disenfranchised when it comes to doing the work. So we need to have balance. And I think that, the overarching message of Scrum being dead or will Scrum die is just a false thing altogether. It's a catch line to get your attention. And what I can tell you is Scrum's not on its way anywhere. It's here to stay. And it's one of those things that once we understand that and we can perform better, it's going to help us be better leaders. It's going to help us be better team members. It's going to help us do everything better within the organization. So I hope this was helpful to you. And I apologize to the person who sent me this one. I should have read it beforehand. It was just so deep. And so it was attempting to dive super duper deep, and the English was kind of circular. So maybe English as a second language was an issue there. If you have a topic you want us to cover, please reach out to us. Learn more at agiledad.com. We'd love to hear your topic. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.